Man, I sound kind of sick though. I got that little bit of the sniffleitis.
Oh no, he got the rhoditis.
Wait. This sounds like a perfect opportunity for me and Daniel to change our voices today. I think I'm gonna be from Jersey today. You know
from Jersey?
Just because I want to sound a little smart. You know what I mean?
A little smart. Oh no! Crazy.
I come here from my country to build hospital for my village. And
oh my gosh, what are you from? Kazakhstan or something?
Nigeria.
Did you watch the second Borat movie yet?
I watched the majority of it. I kind of got bored during I wasn't really paying attention. So since I wasn't keeping up the whole time, I kind of missed bits and pieces. But I got the majority of the story though, and the whole Giuliani thing and all that. It's an interesting watch. I recommend it. I mean, if you've seen the first one, it kind of it is like a direct sequel pretty much. He kind of talks about what happened after the first movie and then why he has to go back to America or whatever. And it's interesting because obviously people recognize him and they laugh oh, your boy. He's no, it's not me.
Exactly. He already had fame from the first movie, but I actually really liked it because not because of storyline or who he is or anything. It's just because our world is so fucking sensified right now. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just so people take offense to everything and you can't say anything without, people giving you the side eye. Old boy really don't give no fucks. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about all the problems in America and how he caused them and stuff. It's hilarious. So I enjoyed it.
Facts, yeah. It's pretty good. The ending with the whole COVID thing was fucking hilarious.
Crazy.
But yeah, definitely watch it if you guys haven't. What's going on, Piglets? It's your boy Taylor B, and I'm joined by my independent thinking co-hosts Daniel and Joey. Welcome to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. And before we go any further, be sure to click that follow or subscribe button. And remember, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Culture by the Uncultured. All right, boys. We, real quick before we really get into these topics, we all live in San Diego. We're going back to purple tier. Apparently, everything's closing out midnight tonight. How y'all feeling about that?
I'm pretty sure I was on this podcast when I say just give it some time and we're gonna be right back. I'm pretty sure I said that because we got a bunch of fools running around Southern California, bro. Somebody at my church got it, fam. And this was the fool that was running around. I used to have to always tell him, yo, put your mask on. He be getting rides from me in the car. Yo, put your mask on. He just running around. No, I don't need no mask. And that, boom, got it. How you feel now, stupid?
That's what you got.
But
what about you, Joey?
Oh, you had just went out for a second. Yeah, the city's shutting back down. Where the state, right? Whole state of California,
I guess, or something like that.
It's only half the counties. Only the most, only the worst counties. It's only 28 counties or something like that that are actually getting shut down again.
I'm hearing LA for the shutdown too.
Oh yeah, definitely LA, us, the Bay Area, and a couple boondock places in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows about Shasta. Who the hell knows about Shasta? But they get
Since we're going into that purple tier or whatever it's called, do either of you know how long that's supposed to last? Is there a minimum date? Is it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or something?
I don't know, but I saw something recently that said if we're gonna be on a quarantine for 6 weeks or shut down for 6 weeks, we should get a 6 weeks stimulus check. I don't know how accurate, or if that was just I know it was a meme, but I don't know if it was pertaining to the situation or not or whatever. I haven't really seen anything on it. I've only got bits and pieces from social media and from word of mouth, we're going back, we're shutting down tonight or whatever, shit like that.
All I'm gonna say is y'all better get used to being shut down, because once old boy takes his seat in the office, if he gets to take his seat in the office, he said something about 6 months of shutdown. So
no, he's the one that says 6 weeks.
I heard he said 6 months.
Oh, well, I saw the memes as well. I saw them on social media talking about Biden's plan was to shut down America for 6 weeks total. And then, but also, are you guys hearing stuff about this vaccine that is supposedly dropping as soon as December?
Yeah, it's like 90% effective. It has like a 90% effective rate right now or some shit like that.
My thing is, every time we watch television and they're advertising a new drug or a vaccine or anything, they say, oh, this helps with this helps with that. But at the end of the commercial, but you might get this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So, like, who really knows the effects of a vaccine to a virus, quote unquote virus, that's only been around for a year's time? I mean, there's no vaccine for a lot of other viruses and things that we've put billions of dollars into. How do we know that this is just the answer? Yeah, I'm clueless on that. So I don't know. I'm honestly, like, we had a group chat about it already in our inbox, but I'm honestly terrified, bro. I'm scared. If all of a sudden there's a vaccine and then to progress with life, they're saying, hey, you either got to have negative tests to enter here or to do that, or have had the vaccine. It's pretty much forcing you into having the vaccine, even if you've been clean this whole time. Just think, a lot of parents don't even like giving their children flu shots because it gives them the flu. You know what I'm saying? So, like, how are we as people and as grown-ups supposed to just make these decisions? And then, like, are we put in a box to where regardless we're gonna have to? What about people who are terrified of needles and shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole situation is crazy. You ask me.
It kind of goes back to like that thing I'm saying or that thing I've said a long time ago too about like conspiracy stuff. Because along with people not wanting to vaccinate their kids, people you getting sick first before like it kicks in and all that stuff, like because you're being introduced to like a bit of like the virus or whatever. There's also people who are conspiracy theorists and like not just like, oh, like we don't need vaccines or whatever, but like they're saying like, oh, this is it, like they're going to put the chip in us or whatever, or it's going to be, you have to get it or you're going to die. I seen something from what is his name? The black dude, he got little dreadlocks, he raps real good, but he's with Diddy.
Ty Dolla $ign.
King. King, what's his name?
King
Los? Is it King? Yeah, King Los, there you go. He's like, watch out, y'all, they're going to do this and that, whatever. And, I just do my 2 cents in there. Like, I always kind of hate those kind of conspiracies because, like, he's like, y'all need to get ready for this. And it's like, what do you want us to do? If we're about to get if this is a scenario and we're about to get introduced to a vaccine that is like, you have to take it or you're going to get killed, right? Or like the mark of the beast or whatever, right? What could you possibly do? Like, most of us can't even afford to move around in the city, let alone to a different country or, or across seas or whatever, you know what I mean? So like, what do you expect for us to do? Like, you can only run so far. There's only so much land to run on. And then you can only fight back so much because like the American military is one of the most powerful forces in the whole world. So it's like, what do you really want us to do? Like, okay, no, we gonna get killed right then and there. All right, done. It's a wrap. So it's like it's already too late. If that is the conspiracy case, at least.
I mean, I'm literally like reliving a lot of thoughts that used to cross my mind a long time ago, and I choose to let them go, but Daniel chose not to, and he kept jamming it down our throat for years, talking about conspiracies and all this stuff. And we had a conversation maybe 2-3 months ago, really, when the conspiracies really started to like come to light. You know what I'm saying? It's terrifying, fam. I don't know what to do. I mean, that song "Fight the Power" by Public Enemy starting to come. A lot of lyrics from the band Rage Against the Machine started to come to mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. Like, what do you do? Like, every morning I wake up and, well, the weekdays, Monday through Friday, I wake up and I think about taking a shower, brushing my teeth, getting ready for work, going to work. And I ignore everything that's going on. And then I get home, I settle down, I lay down, and I'm like, oh shit, our world's going to shit. So it's like, I genuinely hate, like, I do not like my job. Looking for a job, by the way, guys. I genuinely hate my life on a regular basis, if I may be transparent. But then I realize, oh shit, I'm spending all this time distracting myself from this world with things that I hate, and all of a sudden it don't seem so bad. You know what I'm saying? So like, my mind, I don't know where to take any of this information, bro. We come on the podcast, we start talking, and it's so like, momentary for me. As soon as the podcast's over, I sit back and I reflect on what we talked about and realize, like, damn, we still find time to acknowledge the current events and quote unquote issues that go on, even though the world we know it may be ending. It's kind of crazy, bro. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I always every time I hear somebody say, "Dang, man, all this crazy stuff going on. What's this world coming to?" I always look at them and go, "An end."
With the side eye. with the side eye. No, Daniel act like a hipster when it comes to this conspiracy stuff. Somebody be like, the government doing this and that. And then you hear Daniel in the background talking about, I told you. I've been telling you for years.
I've been do that. I've been putting y'all on to that, man. Y'all late.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy is you ever just like regular outing, you're out at night somewhere and there's maybe like somebody who looks drugged out or a homeless person outside talking to themselves. You ever just like listen to what they're saying?
I try.
And a lot of times it's very government involved, conspiracy, this and that. You ever wonder, like, I wonder like why you're in the position you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those crazy shit stories that they be telling, I'll be kind of like thinking back, like, did they say this? Because this sounds kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
There's just government agents that have been placed there to tell people what's going to happen. They're actually back from the future they saw, and I'm just playing.
Oh man!
And they're only homeless because their currency's no good here.
Ooh,
we might have to save that one in the vault. Okay,
what is happening right now? What is going on?
Brainstorming, Brandon. We're talking about movies of the future. Okay.
Oh man! Speaking of movies, man. We got a little bit of movie news going on. I don't know if you guys heard that Constantine 2 is in the works right now. We got Peter Stormare that he played Lucifer in the original Constantine, the one starring Keanu Reeves, where like at the end of the movie he comes out and like Constantine has kind of redeemed himself enough to go to heaven, and he's dying because of, I think, lung cancer or whatever. So like the devil, instead of letting him go to heaven, he reaches into his body and like heals his lungs so that he doesn't die.
Absolutely hate that movie. It's just from a religious standpoint, absolutely hate it.
Well, a lot of people actually didn't like it, but for whatever reason, I guess like it's like a combination of like a resurgence of like Keanu Reeves' career with like John Wick and stuff, and like people wanting to connect more and more things like as far as like comic book related material is concerned. So somehow Constantine is getting a part 2, and we'll see what happens. I remember Shia LaBeouf was in that movie and he died. I think that's the first movie I ever saw him die in. I've never
seen that, but I'm looking it up right now on my phone. Constantine came out in 2005 and it's labeled as a horror/fantasy.
Yeah, it's interesting. So like Constantine comes from he's from like the Justice League Dark team, and he's like a spiritual hero in a sense. So like he deals with like angels and demons and things like that, and the devil and God and stuff. And he does like magic or whatever and stuff like that too. So like, those were his like powers are based. He's more of like the darker elements of DC versus like regular Justice League, like Superman or Batman or whatever.
It says based on Hellblazer comics.
That might be where he came from originally. I don't know though.
Y'all know Constantine was a real person, right?
It's saying here, Constantine Maroulis from like season 4 of American Idol, something like that. I don't know. I honestly, it says just real quick, just to backtrack. It says as a suicide survivor, that's kind of interesting. Demon hunter John Constantine has literally been to hell and back, and he knows that when he dies, he's got a one-way ticket to Satan's realm unless he can earn enough goodwill. Oh, so he's trying to get in good graces of the Lord as a last-second evasion.
Yeah, so it's like 100 good deeds for Eddie McDowell.
That's why Daniel don't like it. Daniel sitting back watching that movie. It's too late, player. Go where you supposed to go. I got it.
I hate it from a religious standpoint just because it makes people think you can earn your way. It's like it's a gift. Like you can't earn your way into heaven, family. Like so that's why you got people running around doing all kind of stuff to try to look good in front of God. It's just like you're never gonna look good in front of God. Nobody looks good in front of God, fam. Like you can't earn it. It's a gift that was given to you.
Well, I think that's kind of like the point of the movie too. Like, he doesn't really openly say like, "Oh, I'm doing this so I can get into heaven." He's just kind of doing all these things, and then like along the way, he kind of like it changes him. He's like he stops being such like a selfish prick and just like hunting demons or like doing stuff for himself, and kind of is like he's trying to save people. You know,
sounds
like,
desperate though.
It is. I mean, it's definitely probably was done out of selfish reasoning, but like halfway through the movie, he meets somebody who like can do the same thing he can, you know, travel to hell and all that stuff, and he teaches her and stuff. And I think he's like, I mean, it's been years since I've seen the movie, so I can't exactly remember, but it goes from being like him being a selfish asshole to him being like, you know, trying to save someone, like legitimately, not like, oh, I'm trying to save her so, you know, I can get some money or some play or something. And he's like, no, like he's like genuinely trying to save like the people and stuff like that. Because I think it was the gate for the Antichrist. He like stops the Antichrist from appearing or whatever. He like sends him back to hell briefly or whatever, something like that. It's an old ass movie.
It sounds kind of interesting, but the fact that there's a part 2 tells me that there was enough people who were feeling like this movie deserved a part 2. Maybe.
No, I don't like. So I guess there's been rumors for the past couple of years this movie was going to come back out, or that this movie was going to get a sequel. I don't know why after so long, but it also has like a weird resurgence of people thinking it's like a really good movie. So like when it first came out, it didn't do like super great or nothing.
Like it aged well.
Yeah, like a cult classic or something. You know, like when they first come out, like people are like, "Damn, this movie's hella good. It makes like hella money." It's usually like, "Oh, like this movie did all right," or "It didn't do that great." And then later on, it's like everybody for whatever reason knows about it. Like, "Oh man, I love that movie. I've seen it." And it's like, "Well, damn, how come it didn't get a sequel? Because nobody went to the movie theater to go see it." Yeah.
We should actually make a list of that. There's a lot of movies that try to do a part 2 or part 3 even, and they just totally flop in comparison. Like it just didn't do the first one justice.
Sandlot.
But there's a lot of movies where we should make a list of our favorite movies that have good part 2s and 3s, because I feel like that's a lot more rare than.
That's super difficult.
You know what I'm saying?
Super difficult. The only thing I can think of at the top of my head, just because it's so popular, is the Captain America franchise.
Or what about a list of our favorite movies with the worst part 2s? Like, oh my, have you seen Grease 2?
I have not.
Oh my god.
I can barely stomach, in all honesty, I can barely stomach Grease. I'm not a musical fan.
Oh, I get that. Totally understand that. It wasn't. I mean, Grease is a good movie just because it's classic. You know, I guess maybe for my generation, it's something that my parents can kind of relate to a little bit. You know,
yeah, I don't know how many white girls that I know that used to like that have at some point or another talked about Grease or wanted to watch Grease, and I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to go home.
You know what I mean? That movie was actually famous, and you don't hear nothing about part 2. Like, there's Home Alone part 1 and 2 that are both okay to me, and then there was a part 3 with a different kid. I'm not watching that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not watching that shit, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean good sequels are really rare, and then to do the worst sequels, that'd be kind of funny. That'd be
Shrek.
fun.
I like Shrek 1 and 2. I think 3 and 4 might have been a bit much. Toy Story 1 and 2 was cool. You know what I'm saying? But those are like very classic.
You can't say Toy Story 3 was bad though. That was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Oh,
that movie made me cry.
About Toy Story 4
movie as well.
I haven't seen it yet.
Is there a 4?
Yes.
Yeah, there is. I haven't seen it yet, though.
I mean, the Land Before Time series has like 27 movies, so I don't really know.
That movie, all those, like, every one of the movies probably made me cry at some point. Sheesh.
Man, I know dinosaurs were that deep.
I cannot watch Land Before Time, the first one, like, from start to finish. I can't watch the beginning of that movie without, like, shedding a tear. He's like trying to, like, his mom saves him, and he's like trying to, like, he thinks like he sees her like shadow from the formation of the rocks, and I'm just in like a storm. Oh man, that was heavy. Then he was like, you know, like Littlefoot was a black kid, man, raised by his grandparents.
Wow, you went real deep with it.
This is hilarious. Let's start giving animated animals races. Like, let's start. That should be a whole series itself. A bunch of animated characters and cartoons that were just like based off of their voice, their family, their upbringing. Oh yeah, you black.
Like, you know, Sarah was a white girl, and her mama was a hoe. You know it. Because she had that stern dad, and he was always like looking for her all the time, like, Sarah, where are you? And then she'd be like, okay, dad, and she had an attitude too. That's because her mama was a hoe and she wasn't around in her life. That's why.
Sheesh.
I knew a movie
kind of slow.
I know a movie that needs a part 2 that I feel like, oh my god, he did not talk about Petrie like that. Oh my god, it wasn't even Petrie. It wasn't even Petrie. That was a slow one, bro. It was Spike that was a slow one. I remember that one movie where he finally said he word. He was like, Ducky.
Oh my god! How did we start talking about Land Before Time? What the hell is going on?
This is your fault.
Hey, bro, we're literally talking about movies that came out when I was like 2.
Bro, you know my favorite Land Before Time. I think it's like the 4th or 5th movie, and this one gets me every time. The one with Chomper, the little T-Rex. At the end of the movie, the T-Rexes come to like take him back home, and every time he leaves, I cry, bro. I cannot like. I'm like tearing up thinking about the movie right now. Like, damn, like that shit hit me hard, bro. Like,
we're over here feeling emotions from 1996, bro. It's real.
Because it reminds me of like that situation specifically, like reminded me of like race relations or something. You know, like imagine like Chomper's parents are like super racist, basically, like the equivalent of that. And like he like Chomper's like some little white kid, and then all like the other dinosaurs are like Mexican, Indian, Black, Japanese, Chinese, whatever. And then he's lost, and then Chomper goes to like play with them or whatever, right? So now this white kid's playing with all these like different kids, and instead of them just like being like complete assholes, they're like, well, you saved our kid, like thank you for that, but we're gonna take him back to home now. So it's like this kid that's been raised by the clan, is like taken away from all these other boys and girls and taken back to the clan to become whatever the hell he's gonna become.
Monster. Yeah. Literally a monster, bro. Come back and eat everybody.
It's crazy, bro. Oh man, I just compared the Land Before Time to the All right, we're done with that. We're done.
Wait. There's one movie I think that needs a remake. Well, it doesn't need a remake. It'd be really cool if they tried to do a remake or a part 2. I think they could do it just because Stranger Things is so popular nowadays. But The Goonies.
I knew you were about to say that. That's crazy.
Wow, I agree with that. That's on point.
That's so crazy.
And like not the same crew either. Like we need like an updated cast where it's like Sloth is still old as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Black guy.
A black guy? Oh my god.
There's got to be a black kid. There's got to be. The whole cast was white, and I think there was like one Asian kid, right?
If you put a black kid in there, they go from the Goonies to a gang, and I don't think we need that type. Okay, we're done, bro. But I agree with that.
So because you said one thing I want to point out real quick, which is interesting, because Sean Astin was the main character in that movie, and Sean Astin was also in Stranger Things. That's since you brought that up. But since we're here already, I'm gonna say mine too. Then one of my favorite movies of all time, The Warriors. It deserves a reboot. It was super close. They were like trying to get truces with like the LA gangs so they can make it in LA instead of being on the East Coast. That movie should have been got a reboot. It's a cult classic. The game, like hell of people know about the game and love the game, and they wish that game was remade too. So that movie should definitely get a remake or a reboot, whatever you want to call it. Shit.
Warriors,
I could agree to that.
Come out and play.
It's one of my favorite things of all time. You was there at Comic-Con. People was like, oh, I like that vest, bro. Yeah. Some people was like, Warriors. Like, people love that shit, bro. It's fire. It's fire.
I've also seen you wear that same outfit at a house party doing the jerk, so I don't
Man, oh my! The crazy part, it was like 2018. Anyway,
that was just 3 weeks ago.
In other movie news, we got WandaVision premiering in January. This is the first year that no MCU content has come out. We were supposed to get WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier in like the summer. WandaVision, it looks like it's going to be the first one out. I don't know if they've wrapped up filming Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet, but we're finally going to get WandaVision on Disney Plus, which also leads to another talking point real quick. And I don't even know if you guys have this or not, but I'm just going to bring it up real quick. It's the 1 year anniversary for Disney Plus. Have you guys like used it at all or seen anything on there?
I refuse.
That was fast. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been a year since that came out, right?
No, because we've been dead since March.
Well, it was just interesting to me because, like, I don't know if you know about this, Daniel, but you have Hulu, right?
Nope.
Or do you only have Amazon?
I have neither. It's one at a time for me. So once I got Netflix, I was like, everything else has got to go.
He on rotation right now.
Well, because I was gonna say if you have Hulu, there's like a thing where you can get Hulu, ESPN Plus, and freaking
Disney Plus
and Disney Plus for it's like $1 more or something like that than like what you regularly play for Hulu. It's like $1 more, and you can get Disney Plus and ESPN and all that stuff too. So there's like a bundle deal if you're interested in that. Just so you know, and our viewers, if you guys don't know that, there's like a bundle deal for all three of those. Maybe if you can't afford everything, just get rid of the Netflix, get the Hulu, ESPN Plus, and get the Disney Plus on there. The only thing that people have really been talking about, as far as I know, on Disney Plus is The Mandalorian. I think that show is booty twaps, so I don't really care. I have Disney Plus, but like I don't use it, so it's kind of crazy, honestly.
Okay, I got that. The Goonies reference, bro. Yeah. Did he just hit it? Okay, $50 bill. That's how much it costs. Wow.
Oh man. But I can't. That's not enough for me. I can't stand ESPN Plus. ESPN Plus be always putting the sports on you don't want to watch. You know, like badminton and the WNBA and stuff. Like I don't want to watch none of this stuff. Like why do I?
Genius.
Well, the UFC fights were on there too. When I was at the Henderson wedding, I meant to talk about this last episode, but we watched Anderson Silva's supposedly last fight. It was pretty fast, unfortunately, but ESPN Plus, I was able to watch it for free, so that was kind of cool. I don't usually ever use it either. Same thing. Like I just got it because it's a bundle, and I was like, okay, I have everything. Then cool, nice. But I was able to watch that, and I was like, damn, this is like the first time I ever actually used this thing to like, and it benefited me. Like I didn't know. Like I was like, damn. I was saying like the whole day, oh, we should buy the fight, and then for whatever reason, I looked it up or something, and then it was like, oh, on ESPN or on ESPN Plus, and I was like, oh, should I have that? So then he just put it on his TV, and it was like the fight's right there, and I was like, oh shit, just log in, cool, all right, cool.
Just to recap, Anderson Silva got his ass knocked out in the first round, didn't he?
I believe the second round. He got tore up in the first round, and the second round is when it finished.
Oh no,
it was like early first round. KO,
TKO, round 4 with minute 24 left. So he almost made it through the whole. Yeah, he almost made it through the whole thing. I didn't watch that fight, but
he was like real apologetic too. I forget his name. It's another older fighter too. He was like felt really bad about
Uriah Hall.
Yeah. He felt really bad about beating him and all that, and but Anderson Silva was like understood. He's like, no, it's this is what you're supposed to do. You made it the fight worth something. Thank you for
bad about beat. He sunned him. He was beating his ass, then talking about this gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. Put the work on him. All that was missing was that black leather belt. Got whooped.
He had just really never been the same since that knockout.
That leg break.
The leg break and the knockout. The one he took to the freaking chin where he was like taunting somebody. I forget who it was.
Oh, Weidman, Chris.
Yeah, he like when he took that to the chin and got knocked out, he was never really the same after that. And then when he got that leg, yeah, for sure. Like I don't think I ever seen him win a fight.
The leg break, the knockout. The PEDs, the cocaine. I mean, it was a lot of things that took this dude out.
You're thinking about John Jones. You're thinking about John Jones.
I'll do it.
Oh, man. They both got chicken legs. You right there, Daniel.
Oh, man. Speaking of sports, how about those Masters, huh?
Those Masters.
Oh.
There's only one Master, and there can only be one Master. So.
Whoa.
Those Masters.
I didn't even think about the phrasing of that. That sounds terrible. Oh, my God. A golf tournament, the Masters, started.
I've been thinking of so many racist jokes today. I'm so sorry if they slip out.
Oh, wow.
Like I already got one out the way. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about a sport in golf. You know what I'm saying? And the tournament's called the Masters. And how good is Tiger Woods doing right now?
Man, when a white guy wins that, he'd probably be going off the chain. That's right. I'm the Master. That's right.
I actually found out some information. The winner of the Masters gets that green jacket. That's like the big thing. Did you know that even if you win it more than once, it's the same jacket?
There's no like different numbers or different like lettering on it or nothing?
There's no extra trophy or nothing, and it's just like it's the same jacket.
Does it have your name on it or anything like that?
Oh, I'm sure it
has your name on the inseam. That's what it has your name on it. Then they put your name on the trophy, and then the next person who wins it the next year, they put their name underneath your name, and it's just, you keep passing around the same trophy every time you win, pretty much.
Oh, the trophy. Okay, I thought you
were the jacket.
I'm like, if you pass.
No, the jacket is like Tiger Woods. Like every time they put that jacket on him, it's like it's the jacket he won in '96.
What?
They don't give you new jackets.
So you don't get nothing new at all. You just get money.
You just get money.
But let's not forget. Let's not forget though. It's Augusta.
Money.
You know what I'm saying? They bring in. What's the purse this year? 11 million.
It's 11 million
for the
11 million purse, but the winner gets over $1 million every time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like a multitude. Yeah, so it's $11 million total in there. Let me see. Tiger right now
is
is
golf. That's crazy.
I know, right? Makes you want to go back in time and pick up a club.
Tiger's tied for 22nd at -4. He shot an even today, and the leader is
he off.
No, he actually
the leader.
Yeah, he actually didn't finish his second round today. It got called because of darkness. Because usually they'd be playing this in April.
Darkness.
Oh, that's right, because it got postponed till this time of year. So now that the daylight savings is over, the sun comes up early. They're not going to ask these guys to wake up extra early to start their round.
Well, they're going to have to now
because they're
going to have to now for tomorrow because they stopped the round halfway. So Tiger's going to have to go play 9 holes of his second round and then another 18 for his third. So he's going to be out there a long time tomorrow.
Oh, so they're still planning on finishing on Sunday then, not a Monday finish.
Unless it happens again tomorrow, then it'll be a Monday finish.
Bro, talk about people's backs being done for tomorrow. Like that's a big playing a round and a half of golf under this kind of pressure with money on the line like that and careers. You know, Tiger's trying to match Nicklaus for the most wins, right? He's still one behind. So just think about how fast Tiger got all of his success within those years. And then he went on like a 10, 11 year run where he didn't win anything.
It was like 14 years since between the time he won the Masters. 14. So he won it last year. So that was like the first time he had won it in 14 years. And so that's why everybody was so happy. People stormed the course and everything like that. They broke through all the ropes just to give him congratulations. Like if anybody has the time to go back and watch like on YouTube, like the 18th hole and watch everybody, a sea full of people just following Tiger as he plays golf. Like they're actually on the course, like right behind him. People are running up, grabbing his shoulders. Everybody was so happy. He finally broke through the hurdle or broke over the hump and all that. So it's pretty much the Super Bowl of golf, and everybody's rooting for the same team, and that team is Tiger.
I would just like to let everybody know, no reason to stunt, but the person leading right now, Abraham Ancer, Mexican. That's right. We coming for that. You know what I'm saying? We in first place, baby. 900.
Do you guys know any of the news in basketball about like the season starting in like December or something?
Yeah, they
like
want to start December 22nd. That's the official day that they're going to start now.
That was desperate. That is so desperate.
Dang, that's crazy.
They just finished the season, and then because normally basketball season starts like right around Halloween, but because there was a 4-month break, the end of the season just happened. So that October's done with, November's here, and they're like, "Well, we got to start in December," and then you couldn't even wait till after New Year's. You know what I mean? Like after Christmas, after New Year. So it's like, come on, bro. Like that's definitely a big money move because they're not trying to lose out on any money for people viewing the games on Christmas, because that is kind of like a big thing for the NBA. But we talking about people, you know what I'm saying? Like I just don't think it's well deserved this year to just have to go back to work so soon, because it is a job.
I was just reading something before you got on with Daniel that I guess the Golden State Warriors team they're trying to spend like $30 million in COVID-19 tests for the fans to be able to open up the stadium at like 50% capacity. They've like given the plan to like local officials or whatever to see if like they'll go through with it or not. But
absolutely,
and I was saying too, like everybody say, "Oh, that's so nice of them. They want to have fans." It's like, no, they need to have them fans, and that's a brand new stadium, and they can't pay the players, and the money coming in from the fans is what they would use to pay off the debt for this new stadium. So on the outside, it seems like, oh yeah, they're being such a nice franchise for these fans, making sure we have people to come watch the game. But on the low key, they kind of like, we need to tax some people out here. So let's get these fans in here.
Yeah, because even if they put $30 million in place to have people tested, if they can afford to do that, they'll be making more money just by having the fans there. So people would say like, oh, you're just missing out on 30 million, but they're like, no, we're missing out on 300 million throughout the season if you don't have no fans there.
Speaking of big dollars, how about Supreme selling to Vans for $2.1 billion?
Go ahead, Daniel. He said they better not touch nothing.
They better not change nothing. They better not Limp Bizkit Supreme. I'm telling you that right now. They better not take their hardcore thrasher rocker brand, whatever they want to call it, and put that into Supreme. Supreme has been a legit franchise. It's worth $2.1 billion. Do not change nothing. Just put Supreme by Vans. There you go.
So why are they out now? Why sell now if they're just? I mean, are they scared of like not being able to thrive after pandemic or?
I don't know. I think they probably think this is probably, their peak, and they're like, let's go out on the peak instead of, being one of those franchises that, that's when they're trying to sell. They have to keep working, or then when they do try to sell, people are like, well, you guys aren't what you used to be, so we're only going to pay you this much for your brand.
I'm with that. Find your success, reach what you consider as a peak where you're like, you know what, even if I make more after this, I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Go live your life, man. If I had a company that was doing very well and I'm like, yeah, I could probably get 10 billion total over the next 30 years, man, fuck that other 8 billion. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my 2 billion right now and live my life, because who knows how long this world is gonna be, a safe place for the mind to stay. You know what I mean? You might as well go get your comfort right now. Go buy you an island or two. I mean, no Epstein, but you know what I'm saying? Go buy you a nice little place.
I got in trouble one time at church because I was talking about, yeah, man, I'm trying to have an island, with that one dude full of girls. And they was like, Epstein, oh my God, go to the altar right now and pray. And I was like, no, not that guy, not that Dan Bilzerian, that guy.
Oh,
I'm at Fight Island, UFC. You got me fucked up.
Probably damn near on the same level.
We are very close to those times where there's going to be some guys that just have so much money where they are literally buying complete islands, bro. Not just like the regular rich people we know who they can afford big stuff. I mean, like, there's going to be a good amount of people who are just like, yeah, bought this island off Hawaii, nothing big, but like that's money is literally just becoming just money. Like Shaq has been saying that. Shaquille O'Neal has been saying that since like 2005, where they always have him on ESPN talking about people's contracts. And they're like, this is just too much money. Can't afford it. And Shaq always ends every segment with, hey, it's just money. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows that every year that value is going to keep dropping. So they're just going to have to keep giving people more and more and more and more. And honestly, that kind of resonated in my mind. And it's a little scary, and it's also very true. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything just has no price. It's just going to keep going up. So it's absolutely crazy. I don't even want to start
ticket prices.
Oh, there we go.
Ticketmaster, they're going to require a negative test or a vaccine to attend concerts. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Man, I don't go to any concerts sponsored by Ticketmaster anyway. I can go to StubHub and get a ticket, fam. What I really said.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure that it's going to be some kind of like group consensus when it comes to like attending concerts in general.
Yeah, that policy might expand to venues, not so much just the people selling tickets.
Yeah, just because, I mean, one, you can, go get a test, plug it into your phone, and you can like alert people if you have COVID-19. That's what that thing is there in there is for. A lot of people are freaking out. Oh my God, how can they put this in your phone or whatever? And it's like, no, dude, it's like, if you got a test, you can plug it into your phone and like let people that get near you know that you have COVID or whatever, like in case you're like, I don't know why you'd be walking around if you have COVID, but it's just one of those things, like just in case.
That's not fair. See, my whole adulthood, actually from childhood, from a preteen, I've been told you got to watch out being fast with these little girls because people carry stuff and you never know. So now people catching stuff and they want to tell us, but I still got to go out here trying to hump aimlessly. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Too late.
But now that
it's a mystery.
Now that I think about it, though, we should probably do that, because I'm thinking about going back to Flognaw, and that's a lot of people right next to you, just surrounded you, jumping around you, breathing on you, sweating.
Life.
That's what I immediately thought, but it kind of made me a little bit sad, just because it's like, so here's like the one big issue that I have with it, right? So let's say maybe by then, maybe we have like some like legitimate rapid testing where you can just get like, bam, like they'll do something and like, okay, you don't have COVID or whatever, right? But by the way, keep in mind, this is just something that happened today too. Elon Musk says that him and his wife got tested 4 times today, and that, 2 of them came back negative and 2 of them came back positive. So he thinks that there's something weird going on. Just throwing that out there. But a lot of places, they'll do like temperature reads or whatever. And like, okay, like your temperature's fine or whatever, you can come in or whatever, which is like, obviously that's not saying, oh, you don't have COVID. That just means like you don't have like a fever or whatever, right? But like in the future, let's say we do that or whatever. My only thing is I hope that they're not just going to take our word for it as far as like people getting a test like 2 days, 3 days prior, because anything could have happened in that time frame. Like 2 or 3 days, you could have been around anybody doing anything and then got here, and then now you have COVID and now you're spreading it to all these people or whatever, right? Same thing for like if we get there or whatever, and it's like just because you got COVID doesn't mean you're going to be able to test for it right away. You could have got it right before you came in the doors. Now you got COVID, all of a sudden, like, you went to the mall, buy some fresh outfit. Now you're going to the concert. You don't test for, or you test pot, or you test negative. Now you're in the concert, not knowing that you're like, it's gestating or whatever. And now you're sick in the concert and spreading it to everybody else or whatever, it's like, and it's one of those things like you're going to sweat a lot. So like you're like you're in these major crowds and stuff like that. So it's like, it scares me in that sense. But at the same time, it's like, I know, like I think in like Houston, and like Atlanta, there's like concerts are popping off already. Like they're doing shows and stuff, people are in clubs. But it's scary though. It's a scary thought to like just think about people opening it up and just with this like quote unquote precaution. I'd rather it just be gone or eradicated instead of saying like, oh, like well, we're gonna have this safety measure just in case, because it's just like, well, I mean, if everybody gets it, everybody gets it. Like it's kind of what you're saying.
I can definitely see them,
bro. You is not lying.
At like a Flognar, just right there at the gate. Test right here. Take the test, pass. Okay, you're good. Oh, you didn't go. You got to go home. Sorry. Here's your refund.
Yeah, but the efficiency of those tests is exactly what Elon Musk was saying. You know what I'm saying? Like who's to say somebody took 2 tests in the last 2 days and they were both false negatives? Like false positive is kind of relieving. Like it's scary, but it's also relieving. A false negative will get you fucked up.
Yeah.
And it's something that we just can't rely on right now. Like it's just so inconsistent. And Brandon's dead ass is right about that. Ain't no moisture like concert sweat. It's a different sweat, bro. Like if you can go to the gym for 3 straight hours on the treadmill, the Stairmaster, whatever, and you get that big sweat, that's the different kind of sweat than you get from a mosh pit at a concert. You know what I'm saying? That concert sweat is a slimy feel, bro.
Slimy, gets
gross but amazing. Yeah, said it.
Man, I have so much fucking like I can't go into a COVID infested crowd and like start moshing, bro. Like it's not like I'm gonna be like, no, don't touch me, bro. Get away from me. I'm not. What you doing
right
man?
now? We are about to see the fly. You know what? I think Supreme messed up, because if it's one company I think could have made the flyest hazmat suit, it's Supreme. Right? I mean, right? The only thing that would stop me from buying it is if they got Travis Scott to sponsor it like he sponsors every fucking thing else in this world. He got shoes. He got burgers at McDonald's. He got this and that, bro. I do not. People treat this man like Wizard Kelly. He is not Wizard Kelly.
It all started with an orange basketball.
Jeez. It all started with a beat machine.
Like, you know, take his own advice. Stop trying to be God. Got his hands in everything, bro.
It's a fact. Somebody actually made a list today that I seen of like a bunch of stuff that he has been involved in. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick, but man, like those shoes, the TS5s is what they're calling it. That was not. Those were
the
not
trash fives. I'm glad you named them right. The trash fives.
That's tough.
The TS. Doesn't TS stand for transsexual?
Here's a list of all of Travis Scott's brand collaborations: Diamond Supply Company, Bape, Maharishi, Helmut Lang, Virgil Abloh, Nike, Saint Laurent, Ready Made, New Era with the Houston Astros, Reese's Puffs, Houston Rockets, Hot Wheels, Fortnite, Nerf, Uninterrupted, McDonald's, and PlayStation.
Shout out to him and his marketing team and his manager. But at the same time, I don't like your shit. So I don't know what to do about
Also,
that, bro.
he reactivated his Instagram and joined in on the jokes, and there's like a hilarious meme of him on the with like the old school Batman animated, like where he's on like the rooftop and then the lightning strikes, and then it's the Travis Scott picture.
I'm gonna make a meme. I'm gonna make a meme out of that damn thing, bro.
There was one of them was the Travis Scott on the PS5, and they made the PS5 look like it was a skyscraper or something. It was hilarious, bro.
That stupid Batman costume, bro. It looks like in your when you clean in your kitchen and you beat all the roaches, then you get to the final roach boss. That's what he looked like. That's the motherfucker you got to get past to
the flea from Mucha Lucha, bro. That shit had me dead. The flea, man.
Oh my god.
Speaking of being dead, unfortunately, real quick, that was a terrible transition. Hold on, let me pause that transition real quick. I'm sad to say that unfortunately Alex Trebek lost his battle with cancer. He passed away at the age of 80. He was the host of Jeopardy for before I was born. That show's older than me, I'm pretty sure. And I'm almost 30. So that says a lot. He pretty much, fought through it till the very end, and he was on the show, having, enduring the battle with cancer as well. So that just kind of speaks to his character and his strength as like, as a man. He didn't let that like stand in his way or anything like that, which is like, that's
actually, I actually want to say something because this is actually one of my favorite people on television, or he was. I know I spend a lot of, and I've spent a lot of these podcast episodes trashing Canada and people from Canada, but he's actually one of my exceptions. Alex Trebek was one of the coolest dudes, very professional, snuck in a lot of jokes. I learned a lot of general and random information from his show, and actually over the course of my entire life, there's been times where I was watching the show answering the shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I learned a lot of knowledge. One of my favorite shows. Everybody's I don't know about everybody, but a lot of times people use the joke, something for 200, Alex. Like, people have said that joke just because, you know what I'm saying? So this is one that I didn't really express like that, but this one actually kind of really hurt me because, I'm glad he lived into old age, and 80 is old age. I'm not going to front like it's not, but, this is one that I probably could have postponed a little bit longer. 2020 has not been kind to us.
Absolutely. I actually just remember making the joke like 2 or 3 days ago where I said, I think it was me, Gilbert, and DJ. We were playing some game on PS4, and DJ said something like, I'm not even really trying right now. And I was like, I'll take things you don't want to hear online for 500, Alex.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, that's he's definitely going to be missed. I think one of my favorite episodes was the one where he was reading the lyrics for like hip hop.
Yeah,
that was and like the I think it was like some like young adults that they didn't even know like the answers. And
exactly. Nerd. You can say it. You can say nerd. You can say it. My favorite are when he asks people sports knowledge questions, because when they all like don't even try to ring the buzzer, he just looks at them like, okay, yeah, okay. Like he looks over at the producer's table like, when are you guys gonna stop putting these in here? Because
I remember
these nerds have
two
no
greatest
clue.
moments watching Jeopardy, the sports one. I remember I was watching one like 10 years ago, and the random category, it said bogeyman, and I'm like, don't tell me that the entire row was golf. And the entire row was, I got that entire thing right, fam. And then when I was up, I think I won like $6,000 just off that, because there was a couple double Jeopardies in there, and I was just, I kept all the cards. I won 6,000. I remember, and then my second one, I won the final Jeopardy completely by accident, because I remember it was the Cavs versus the Warriors, and I was living in Oakland. And he asked some question. I forget what he said, but I remember I walked by and I was thinking about basketball, and he asked the question, and I said King James. And I was talking about LeBron, but they were talking about the real King James, and I actually got it right. He said, "What is King James? Who was King James?" And I was like, "Correct." I was like, "Oh, wasn't I win, fam?"
Mama, we rich.
I'm gonna be on Jeopardy next week. I'm there.
It's honestly, it's because of that show that I actually got hooked on the game show network. I believe I watch that with my mom sometimes, GSN, and that's where they got like Cash Cab and all those other general knowledge show, or kind of general knowledge shows. But Alex Trebek was really kind of like Jeopardy was the show that opened up my life to just like random knowledge for fun and for money. So it kind of made it, it was cool for me.
For sure.
R.I.P. to him.
Dang, what was I about to say? I was about to say something right now. Oh, obviously as Americans, things move pretty quickly, especially in this day and age, 2020, kind of, this week, next week, like the what's going on is like completely irrelevant, for the most part. But with the passing of Alex Trebek, people have already come out and started saying, and this is definitely, super early to even really be considering, but a lot of people have been pushing for LeVar Burton to actually be the next host of Jeopardy. I thought it was interesting, and to me, it's not in bad taste just because like the person that LeVar Burton is, he's been associated with some very positive work. Obviously his show, he's been in Star Trek, he's been in Reading Rainbow, he's done a lot of good things, and, in just philanthropy work as well too. So if somebody was going to take it over, I would hope it would be somebody who's like an outstanding citizen as well,
LeVar Burton or LeVar Ball?
Not LeVar Ball. I'm talking about, I told Pierce 1,000 times I never wanted to meet LeVar Burton. I just wanted a picture. You can't disappoint a picture.
Reading Rainbow? It was Reading Rainbow, right?
Yeah.
What about, is that your guys' best fit for who you would say? Like, can you guys just think of somebody off top that you would like to see in that spot?
I hadn't really thought about it, but when I saw it, I was just like, at first I was kind of like real quick to be like, man, it's way too early. But then I was like, you know what, LeVar Burton, that's not a bad idea. Like if I thought like it's like me trying to think of somebody to replace Steve Harvey on like Family Feud right now. Like I couldn't do it off the top of my head, but like if somebody presented like a good, like, a good person, then I'd probably be like, oh, that's not a good idea.
I got one for both of these shows. Jeopardy. Well, the thing is, Jeopardy, like, wow, Jeopardy. I don't know how smart Alex Trebek was when he first went in, but obviously he gained knowledge throughout because he's reading the cards. But remember, he's saying stuff like in French and in Italian and in Spanish and stuff too. So it's got to be somebody who's progressive like that. You know what I mean? My vote is probably Carlton, Alfonso Ribeiro. I think he's somebody who would fit right in, and also Family Feud. I'd like to see him on Family. I'm done with Steve Harvey, yo. I'm done. He been cheating. How they got a black family on there every week? I have yet to see a family with a Hispanic name that didn't look full white.
Oh my gosh.
Today we have the Hernandez family, and it's like a white dude in the military. Bro, come on.
Bro, I'll never forget that episode. A boy's name that starts with the letter H. Jose.
Hey, did everybody just forget and sleep on the fact that Steve Harvey called out the wrong girl from Miss America or whatever it was? Yes. Miss World?
Somebody said, don't let him announce the next president.
Oh, man, let him read the count. That's right.
Oh, by the way, and since we are talking about like, I guess TV or stuff or movie stuff real quick, I just found out that Kevin Hart's releasing another Netflix special called Kevin Hart Zero Fucks Given. It's going to be released on November 17th in case you're interested in that. I know Kevin Hart appeals to a more I feel like he's
drunk crowd.
I don't know, like his crowd, man, to be honest.
I don't like his face.
Like it's not like
he's got that upside down smile, that frown. I feel like
Kevin Hart used to appeal to a certain group of people, and then it kind of shifted. Like the content of his comedy kind of shifted, and like I feel like at one point he was kind of like a little bit more raunchy, a little bit more like, for the for lack of a better word, like the urban culture, like he was more like with the people and stuff. And now it's kind of more like a little bit cleaner. It's a little bit more like appropriate for like kind of everyone, and it's like, which is not bad. It makes sense as far as like money and him being as big as he is in this day and age. But I would kind of like to see some more of like the rambunctious side of Kevin.
You got to remember too, he's the voice actor for The Secret Life of Pets or whatever, with that being a bunch of kids show, he can't represent that and then come out and be the regular Kevin Hart you want him to be, because he's somebody I think is more funny off mic. I think he's a cool personality. I think he has like quick jokes and good comebacks, but I've honestly never been a true fan of his stand-up specials. I'd rather watch him in a movie than
really.
Yeah.
I feel like he is the same person in every movie.
That's why I'd rather watch it in the movie instead that has some kind of storyline and other characters as opposed to a stand-up where it's just you. I get over it very fast. And I was trying to say earlier, he's got that smile. It looks like an upside down smile, like a frown. That shit makes me want to punch him right in the fucking mouth, bro. I don't know what it is.
I'll say this, and I think I said it last time too. I did appreciate seeing a little bit of his range in the newest Jumanji film. He had to play an older black man. He had to play a large black man, like a young large black man, or a large young black dude and an older black gentleman. So you kind of see those two different personalities. You know, because you don't really get to see him in that movie, although like he somewhat acts like himself, but he's supposed to like be embodying an old man like in his body and then like a younger dude in his body. So it's interesting in that aspect to see those. I think that whole cast did an excellent job in that film in particular, personally. But yeah, I'm gonna
still watch it. But you know, after I'm done with it, I'm gonna be like, when's Mike Epps dropping his next one? Because
we don't got a whole bunch of time left, but I definitely want to bring this up real quick. Joe Biden, 46th president, yay or nay? It looks like it's what's happening. I believe, Daniel, you said they're doing like some recounts in some places, but for the most part, everything's pretty much set or whatever. At this point, I guess like Biden could lose like a state or two and he would still be elected the president.
No. If he loses the states that they're going to recount, he's not the president. Like that would bring him down. That would bring him under the 270 mark.
Yeah, that's why I said he could lose a state or two and he'd be fine. I don't think he could lose every single state.
No, if he loses, Georgia and Michigan, like that takes him under 270. He's not president at that point. That's why Trump is like.
Does anybody else think this is ridiculous? Like, if you have a clear winner by thousands of votes and then demand a recount, how do we continue to trust people to count the shit every 4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we? I'm starting to think, and I mentioned this, I think, to us, you know, just within our group chat. I think that the voting system should be a set amount of time. It should be like a 2-week or a month-long process. That way, everything is counted twice.
You know that makes sense to like get it out of the way, like instead of like having such a big time frame, like like early voting starts here, exactly. Votes start here, something. Just okay, we're gonna vote from here to here. Do it then, or don't do it at all. That makes a lot more sense in my opinion to kind of get it expedited out the way.
I'm not a fan of the whole live update vote count stuff. Wait till the state is done and then present the results.
I think that's a terrible idea as far as like the live state vote counts. I think they were like. I mean, I don't think, I'm pretty sure they always did something like that, but I feel like with just the way social media updates, it's not healthy. Like all these, it's not good for America right now to like be trying to like, this is what the projected winners look like. This is who won this is who won whatever, or who's projected to win whatever, because it looks bad. And you know, like, especially like just knowing somebody like a Trump as a person, you know, with everything that's like, with just kind of how he's handled things so far, like just in general, like just talking to people, really, there was no way in hell you thought that a state was going to flip from one color to another color without him saying a damn thing. There was no way.
Oh, of course. This man is going out swinging, bro, flailing in some deep waters. Okay,
the only way he probably wouldn't have said nothing is if every state was just blue across the board. That's the only way he wouldn't have said nothing. But having some states go, oh, projected Trump is to win, then all of a sudden, oh, now they're counting mail-in ballots. Oh, now it flipped blue. Hell no, that he was gonna flip his shit no matter what. So it was just like it should have just been like, we're gonna wait till such and such date when all the votes are tallied or whatever, and you could just announce who the winners are. Like, okay. All the votes for Georgia are counted. This is who won. All right, we're going to recount. All right, for sure, this is the guy who won. I
cannot wait just for them to be like, oh yeah, there was fraud. Trump is still the president. And like they completely flip, and just to see the world go crazy, to see the absolute people.
That'd be insane. That'd be like millions of people having to like not have voted or have committed voter fraud.
And I can definitely see just all the riots that would happen because of it. How many communities would be torn down? And it's just going to be one party doing it.
Oh, you want the world to be destroyed? Yes. Ooh, okay. We got a supervillain over here. Okay.
Freaking Marvin the Martian over here.
I'm going to blow up the earth.
Damn. Okay, Lucius, I see you out here.
Nah, man. Honestly, I just pray for peace, man. And I just think the way everything's going right now, everybody's losing their mind. And the people who are managing to stay composed, I feel like a lot of people are looking at them like they're weird because they're level-headed still, because there's so much insane shit going on. So everybody, like the Earth's pH balance is off. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can't just get with it. You know what I mean? Don't just feel that way. Like nobody can come to an agreement on shit.
Just gotta drink some alkaline water. We'll be all right.
Okay. Oh man, did Shark Week happen this year? I feel like a lot of things didn't happen this year, and just COVID just shit all over it.
I didn't hear a single thing about Shark Week. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Right? Like a bunch of stuff. Just totally. Like all I remember is Kobe died, Tiger King, Halloween. Like what the fuck else happened, bro?
Kobe died, Tiger King, Halloween. Damn, that's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there, but
I mean, Chadwick Boseman,
bruh,
Ruth Bader Ginsburg,
bruh. I know. I feel so bad because like so much, it's literally here today and gone tomorrow, bro. Our society moves so fast. I mean, tragedy today, bro. Tragedy today will be forgotten next week, and it's been like that for the last few years now. It doesn't it just like it makes everything outdated so fast? Is it just damn? Like I look around, bro. I look around, and I just something I always clam onto, and I remember is I didn't have a cell phone until I was like about to graduate high school. I was like, you know what I'm saying? And now there's kids in second grade, first grade that got full on phones, data plans. You know what I'm saying?
You know, for whatever reason, with the whole desensitizing to like, you know, murder and, you know, death and all this stuff that kind of happens in America all the time, it reminds me of is it Psycho-Pass? I think it's Psycho-Pass. It's an anime about it's like a futuristic society. I hope I'm getting this right because I'd look like a fucking idiot if I'm getting this wrong.
Googling.
It's an anime about like this futuristic society, and like they can pretty much like detect like crimes through like different means instead of like, oh, you committed a crime, now we have to arrest you or whatever. Like they can like do it in a different way. And there's like a scene in it at some point where this killer of a sort or whatever, he's like so demented that like he goes and like beats the shit out of some guy in like front of all these people, and they start getting arrested because of what they're witnessing, and they're freaking out, and he's not freaking out at all because he doesn't care. So it's like it was just like a messed up, flawed system. And it's like, imagine like something like that now. Like we're getting to the point where it's like, oh, that stuff doesn't even matter, you know, like you know, like, and I can imagine like 10 years, like a dude blows his brains out. It's just that's an everyday thing or something, you know, like whatever. This dude, you know, Mr. Johnson last week just, you know, shot himself in the head. Oh man. Anyways, Paul probably gonna kill himself today. You want to put money on it? Like, you know, like, or, you know, it's just, there's just so much death and violence. And even me being a somewhat violent person or enjoying violence in like, you know, movies, games and stuff like that, it's just like, it gets kind of overwhelming sometimes. And you're just kind of like, damn. And I mean, it kind of brings up, we weren't really going to talk about this, and I don't want to say much on it, but like the whole King Von thing, you know, it started off with the fight, and then, you know, rest in peace, King Von, but started off with the fight, with King Von and his crew fighting some people from Quando Rondo's crew, and then somebody pulled out a gun pretty rapidly and shot up, you know, a bunch of people. I think 3 people passed away, unfortunately. King Von's manager was shot, but he wasn't killed. And a lot of people, you know, gave their condolences and all that stuff. But there's just so much like negativity, violence, and death just around us. I mean, Mo from I think a Texas rapper, he just passed away.
Mo
he got shot like on the freeway.
Oh, yeah, that was the dude that sent the video where he was singing. It's been a long time coming. Wow, I just got into his music. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on. I saw another rapper from Houston, this light skinned kid. I think he got shot or he got robbed or something like that. Like they shot him in the leg or something. And like there's a video of him going around where like he's on the ground like bleeding from his leg, and like the cops come, they're like apply pressure to it, and he's like crying, you know. But it's like then people like throwing up the pictures of him like with a gun,
so
you
crazy.
know, and like money and all that stuff. And it's like, bro, like we definitely, hip hop needs to change.
This is
as
America,
a whole.
bro. This is America. Like, think about it. Think about it. Every day, there's groups of people, not just social media, but just groups of people who associate with each other, who would shame you for your ideas, shame you for your thought process. There was times, maybe I would say it started really heavily, maybe about 5-6 years ago, where the LGBTQ community was really coming down hard on people for not being so openly accepting, and they were trying to compare it to racism and stuff, which I think is silly, but also kind of relatable in some sense.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
So we went through this entire phase. I want to call it a phase because it is important knowledge. But we went through this entire situation where people were arguing back and forth on what should be accepted in front of children's eyes at school, this and that. So, we should be accepting of everybody. Shame on you if you judge people. Shame on you if you do this. Shame on you do that. But then a presidential election goes on, and everybody's shaming everybody for the slightest thought of the opposition. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when can we fucking come to an agreement as people when it's right to be sensitive and when it's not right? You know what I'm saying? Like, there is none. The freedom of speech, the freedom of thought is not even here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't live freely the way we want. So America right now is in a big ass bed of lies. And there is no constitution in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no rights, because even if I have the right to do something and I speak freely, now I got people hating me, threatening my life. How free is that? You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just 2020 has really brought a lot of situations to light that I was fearing on the inside. And now we're just like clearly living in it, bro. Like, people walk around scared to truly say what they really feel, because you're either being attacked for it right after, or you're being seen as yourself insensitive to other people. It's just so wishy-washy. And that's why I like that we have the podcast, because we go on here, we say what the fuck we feel in that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm glad we're doing this, but all I'm saying is the earth, but America specifically, we got to get it together, because we can't seem to come to an agreement on anything. Everybody, like, especially right now, recently, I've seen so many people be like, oh, if you voted for Trump, if you did this, I can't fuck with you, blah, blah. But, like, what about the reasons why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just because Trump has a few people, or a portion of his supporters are people who you don't agree with their lifestyle, or they're ignorant, or this and that, that's fine. Joe Biden has a lot of supporters who are voting for him based off of ignorant bases as well. You know what I'm saying? Just because Kamala Harris is quote unquote black, just because he was the vice president for Obama, they don't know nothing about his policy.
Just because they hate Trump.
Yep. Exactly. There's ignorance on both sides. And I don't like that a lot of people are normalizing the idea that it's okay to shame everybody for thought out decisions, not just blatant ignorance. So life is crazy right now, bro. I don't really know how to deal with it. If y'all got any suggestions, let me know, because I'm losing my shit.
I be trying to stay busy, man. That's about it. I be staying busy. That's it, man. That's all I can really say. I mean, by the way, real quick, to kind of lighten up the mood before we get out of here in a little bit, I got some just quick announcements after this, but right now I'm in a little competition with Don, Brittany, and David. It's what started off as like an Apple Watch competition or whatever, like for your workouts or whatever. David hit me up like a couple days ago, and he was like, hey, you want to put $20 on it just to make it interesting? And I told him, boy, you don't want these problems. And he was like, no, we put $20 on it, see whatever, whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, all right, bet. We invite Brittany and LaDon, and then they join in too. And then the next day, towards the end of the night or whatever, right? David goes, so this is how many steps everybody's taking today. It's almost the first day in the books, whatever, blah, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, oh, word? And then I was like, so why are you talking about the steps? Like, what does that matter? We have the competition app in our phone. Like, you can get like 610 points or like 600 points a day or something like that. That's like the max. And he was like, oh, like you can cheat that and stuff. And I was like, well, we're friends. Why would we cheat each other? And then I was more upset because he didn't tell me and Brittany that. He only told LaDon that. Except I looked at our group chats or whatever, like mine and his messages, and I was like, you don't say that in none of these boxes. Like, you didn't talk about that or whatever. And he's like, we can vote to change it or whatever. And I was like, I mean, it's whatever. I'm not really tripping. I'll do whatever. But I would have just been less inclined to say yes if it was just, the stepping or whatever, right? So At the end of the night, he had like 12,200 steps or something like that, right? And I was like, damn, like it's like 11:30 right now. So I just got my ass up and took a walk, and I got like 1,000 extra steps in than he had. And then yesterday, same thing, around the same thing. I had like 27,000 steps, and right now I think I have like 2,000 more steps in today. So I'm winning. I'm winning in points and I'm winning in steps. I don't care what happens at the end of this. I don't care what happens. They finna run me my money. I'm gonna be like, I beat you in points and I beat you in steps. So either way, pay up. Pay up.
Because if I know David, he cheating regardless. And yeah, so the Apple Watch counts your steps.
So it can count your steps. So there's like a move calorie on there for it's like there's a red bar and it's for move calories. There's a green bar for exercise and there's a blue bar for standing. Standing you can only get 100%. So the only other two bars that you can like exceed points in is for exercise and for your move calories. But it'll track your steps too. So like that's what I pretty much every day I just go for a long ass like 2.5 mile walk, and then that gives me like.
Did they not know that?
And it counts.
Did they not know that you walk for work?
Oh no, they do. They do. He was like, that's why I thought it was a good idea. It'd be hard to beat you. And I was like, y'all just give me money then, basically. But I mean, like, I walk for a living, so I mean, shit.
Straight up. And then like, you be cheating because you said an Apple Watch, right?
Yeah.
So it counts your steps when it's on your wrist.
Yeah.
So what if you leave it on the wrist when you're cranking it?
Oh my God.
Does that count?
It's on my left wrist. That's where I wear my watches, and I'm a righty, so.
Oh, well, ain't nothing but a switcheroo. Get your money, pimpin'. Get your money.
You know, that was in the league. The show, The League, they did like a little step trackers, and like at one episode it was like Ruxin was like beating off with the step tracker on his hand.
Oh, it was. Oh my! I can't believe I forgot that. That's funny. Now it came to mind. Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, get your memories.
As far as some of the quick announcements, really quick, The Weeknd is headlining the Super Bowl halftime show. In case you're into that. For gaming news,
I like The Weeknd, but for the Super Bowl, come on.
For gaming news, we have a Mass Effect remasters coming out, and there's a new Mass Effect game being was just announced, and it's being obviously made. It'll probably come out for the Xbox Series S or X and the PS5. Also, the Xbox Series X and PS5 have officially launched. Like pretty much everybody who had or who ordered one got them. People have been kind of bragging about them online. There's having a lot of issues, both consoles though. PS5 has been having some type of storage issue, and Xbox Series X has been having like disk tray issues. And this is something that's just kind of funny to me. So people were like showing like their Xbox Series X, whatever, smoking or whatever. And then Xbox had to release an announcement saying, I hope you guys, I'm shocked that we have to actually say this, but please don't put vape smoke in your Xbox Series X, because people were like, blowing vape smoke into like the thing to make it say, oh man, look at it smoking or whatever. It's actually kind of interesting the build for that, because the fan is on top. And a real trick that I actually seen that worked was actually pretty cool. Somebody put a ping pong ball on top of it and it stayed there. That's how like much that's how powerful the fan is. It's pretty cool. And that's about it for the gaming news. And I don't got nothing else unless y'all got something.
I was going to ask something about the game consoles, but I forget when. Dang it! Oh well.
We don't have a poll this week.
I cannot think of a poll to save my life, to be honest. I tried to earlier. This is kind of one of those things like, damn, I wish I could like to get a phone call in. Call in and get your poll featured on Culture by the Uncultured, man, I can dream. I don't have anything on the top of my head though. I mean,
we didn't discuss anything earlier in the show.
Oh yeah,
worth of a poll. Not
no, we didn't. I think we kind of did. What we think would be the best movie to be that needs a reboot, or who you think people has the best part two?
Well, we can't really give a poll for that, because then we're just choosing for them. Yeah, it's okay. We're just gonna have to come with them randomly throughout the week. Maybe it didn't make the podcast, but yeah, we totally didn't even think about that this week.
I got one that'll work for both Xbox and PlayStation. Actually, just came to my head right now. I'm just going to ask people if they got their Xbox or their PlayStation. So I'm going to put a picture of the PlayStation and the Xbox and ask people if they got them or not, and then see how many yeses compared to no's there are, because I know a shit ton of people did not get a PlayStation or Xbox for that matter. Mm-hmm. But yeah. But all right, folks. I guess that about wraps that up, right?
Wraps it up.
All right, piglets, this has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured. Remember, piglets, Culture by the Uncultured is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We hope everyone out there is staying safe, and if you can't be safe, be deadly. Catch you guys next time.
I love the outdoors, but I hate nature. I hate nature.